A new day in Gaultois. If you're one of a handful of men who work in aquaculture here, you're already on the water. But most times, it's eerily quiet. That's because Gaultois is not what it used to be.
This empty fish plant used to be the heartbeat of this town. Year-round jobs, supporting what was a bustling community.
Now it's decaying. A waterfront dinosaur. A generation ago, nearly 600 called this place home. Once a destination for those resettling from other communities. It's now a different story. About 100 people left. Mostly seniors like this man, Earl Kendall. Wife long deceased. 4 children with lives elsewhere.
Gaultois is still a knit community, you know. It's still home, still friendly.
Kendall is a lay minister at the Anglican Church to a shrinking congregation. He's a throwback to another era. Never owned a vehicle. Walks wherever he goes. The man to call if your washer breaks down. Knows he's a dying breed, just like his community.
Deep down, you know, you've got to face reality because resettlement is coming. You know, it may not be now, but somewhere down the road, I may live to see it, but Gaultois is going to fade. It's going to be phased out.
Weeks back, the Catholic Church was beat down. This bare rock exposed to sunlight for the first time in more than a century. There's no obvious successor for Earl Kendall. So does the same fate await St. Luke's?
That's $1 million question. I just can't say. I don't know.
Almost everywhere you turn, empty homes. Families scattered. Owners passed on. Homes selling for less than the price of a small car. The school, less than 20 students. But no complaints from the young people.
You got like a lot of nice people here, a lot of good friends, places to go, some stuff to do. We got a school and everything, that's good.
There's not like much to do, but like it's free and you can just go wherever you want. There's not much like sports and stuff, but like it's still like fun to be around.
The only population multiplying here, the feline kind. A perfect storm of bad luck for Gaultois.
I can't say giving up, but I haven't got much pride into it now.
And the man who took that call from Vic Young all those years ago, he's still here part of the year. But the fight has long since gone out of him. Roy Ingram came here from the resettled community of Pickery. It's now a ghost town. He feels Gaultois will suffer the same fate.
It's sad, but there's not much you can do about it. And it's costing the government a pile of money to keep this going.
Ingram plans to leave soon, for good, further eroding the shaky foundation that's keeping Gaultois afloat.
It's a dying community right now.
And this woman?
I'm very urgent to hear that our community is going to die.
She left years ago, taking 5 children with her, closing her 2 businesses. Now she's here in St. Albans, not far from her roots. She remembers her final walk to the ferry.
I saw my friend looking out of the window, and when she saw me look up, she backed off. When she backed off, I started to cry, and I just walked down the road and got aboard the boat, but it was very difficult.
Northcott has no regrets about leaving Gaultois, and she believes it's time for those left behind to follow the lead of those who have gone.
If they get financial help, I think that, it's time for people in Gaultois to realize that, even though it's their home, and to realize that, they can do better medically, financially, but the unknown is the scary part.
These are uncertain times for many here. The final march to the ferry is a familiar one. And this man has had a front row seat to the exodus. He moved back to Gaultois 4 years ago to work on the ferry, but retirement is beckoning. After that, he's gone.
I don't plan on staying here. I'm moving out when I retire. Oh yeah, just temporary. It's too slow paced.
6 kilometers of ocean between Gaultois, the dock and Hermitage, and the world beyond. It makes this place very distinct. But it might just be the factor that leads to its demise. It's Wednesday evening in Gaultois, the most lively night of the week. The women are in a party mood, sharing laughs over libations, sharpening their aim, looking for the big score. About 20% of the town's population gathered right here at these tables. It's something they look forward to each week.
That's the only thing it is here for as long as they play darts. Yeah. That's the only thing we got. Everybody get together, have a few drinks, play game darts, enjoy yourself.
Beyond the darts and the music and the drinks, though, thoughts about the future are never far away. So when the music fades, so too does the mood.
Is Gaultois a dying town?
Yes, it is.
Why do you say that?
Because it is.
Resettlement. It's not talked about formally here anymore. But ask for a show of hands, and it's clear. Many here want to leave.
You know, maybe there's an offer that government could make to you. Would you take such an offer and maybe move?
Yeah, wouldn't take second thoughts. I wouldn't.
Previous resettlement votes proved a large majority want out. Away from the uncertain ferry connection to Hermitage. Away from the economic hardship brought on following the closure of the fish plant. More than 80% have voted to resettle in the past. Not enough to meet the 90% threshold to trigger government resettlement money. So it's happening naturally. Since these images were recorded in 1990, the population of Gaultois has shrunk by 80%.
There are a lot of nice people around here in Selkirk, and we love it here.
So where have all the people gone? To places like this, Seal Cove, just across the bay from Gaultois. People like Sheldon Nash, his girlfriend Olivia McDonald, and her 9-year-old son, Drake.
It wasn't easy leaving Gaultois, but pretty much I had to do what's best for my family.
Better supports for Drake, easier access to services, better job opportunities. That's what forced them away from Gaultois.
I don't think really there's going to be much of a future there because eventually people's going to have to leave from the ferry issue, breaking down, not running half times because of the wind.
Sheldon voted in favor of resettlement multiple times. He says the money would have made the transition much easier.
$250,000, $270,000 in your pocket, it would mean a lot, because then if it was something in now I could have had it bought and paid for.
Now they're doing it on their own, out of necessity.
I think my future here is going to be really good.
Hard to find someone with a positive outlook for Gaultois. Not even the men with gainful employment in the aquaculture industry.
I'll let you come back, yeah. But it's too late for it now, I think. It's too late.
And it's not just Gaultois. There are 7 small communities on the south coast linked by ferry, a service that cost the province nearly $10 million last year. Just over 700 residents in all. Here in McCallum, about 50 people. Just 4 school-aged children. Gaultois is one of the lucky ones. 3, sometimes more visits daily by the ferry, averaging less than 3 passengers per crossing. But change is coming on that front. Government is exploring ways to provide the service on a more cost-effective and efficient manner. A reduction in ferry services could speed the exodus from places like Gaultois. But despite the odds, there is someone fighting to save this place.
So, Gord, this is a great idea.
Here she is, with Gaultois Mayor Gordon Hunt. Her name, Jane Pitfield. Roots in Ontario and Quebec. Businesswoman, politician. She visited Gaultois a decade ago and fell in love with the place.
Gaultois has a beauty that is unique. It is a jewel.
She's helped market Gaultois as a tourist destination. Now she's eyeing another idea, converting the dormant fish plant into a greenhouse for growing vegetables.
My hope for Gaultois is that we can find a way that it can be self-sustaining.
She brought in organic gardening experts from Quebec. They went inside and liked what they saw.
They could basically grow most all of their greens needed for the area, so there should be no problems with that.
3, maybe 5 jobs. Pitfield says she'll lobby for government money to get it going. Back at the Lions Club, they're not thinking about fresh vegetables.
I'm gone as soon as I get a phone call. Definitely this time.
Terry Roberts, CBC News, Gaultois.